EastEnders legend speaks out about sensational return on 40th anniversary. The celebratory episode delivered a major blast from the past. The actor first appeared as Angie Watts in EastEnders' very first episode on February 19, 1985. She left in 1989 and her character was confirmed to have died off-screen in the 2010s. 40 years to the day since the BBC One soap premiered. Dobson returned as Angie during Wednesday's episode. She appeared as a hallucination from her daughter Sharon Watts as she drifted in and out of consciousness lying in the rubble of the burning Queen Vic. Speaking about her brief comeback, Dobson said, "I have to say a huge thank you to everyone on the EastEnders team for making me feel so welcome. It was joyful. When I first put the costume on, it was like, wow. It was very wonderful and weird at the same time." She said she kept the secret from everyone except for husband Brian May. Although it was more difficult after it was confirmed she was involved in the retrospective documentary, as everyone started asking. When they initially asked if I would come back when I was filming for the documentary, she said, "I wasn't really thinking of the whole picture at first. And then when they said Letitia had said that she'd like me to do it with her, I thought, oh my God, I can't say no to seeing my baby again." It was very emotional, incredibly emotional in a lovely, happy way. Working together again was seamless. We didn't really think about it, or talk about it, or even rehearse it that much because we just did it. It was lovely. She's a gorgeous human being and a lovely little actress. She added she was honored to be such an important part of EastEnders history. Although admitted she had no idea at all it would become an institution. All we really thought at the time was that we had a really good job that paid well for quite a long time, she said. Reminiscing on her favorite moments from back in the day, she concluded, "I have to say that our storylines, in particular the Watts storylines, were cracking, weren't they? It was so good. I'd like to say a big thank you to all the writers because they really did create something magical." Angie's return wasn't the only surprise of the night, as EastEnders also announced a second interactive vote to name Sonia Fowler's baby, in addition to choosing if Denise Fox should be with Jack Branning or Ravi Gulati. EastEnders Martin Fowler feared dead in tragic 40th anniversary scenes. As the aftermath kicked off tonight, Martin realized Stacey Slater was on her own and trapped. He helped multiple residents escape, but could bear the thought of leaving Stacey alone. With that, he made sure Ruby Allen was safe, and then went back to Stacey. Once free from the rubble, Stacey, for some reason, chose to talk to Martin about their feelings for each other. She could have picked a better moment, but it was seemingly perfect timing for her. We beg to differ, but, you know. Following another small explosion, Martin and Stacey were still trapped in the pub. It meant they had to remove smashed pieces of wood from their path, hoping they could do it quick enough before disaster struck. Sadly though, that wasn't the case. Just before the anniversary episode of the BBC One soap ended, a frame fell from the ceiling. Stacey was shoved to safety by Martin, but the timing meant the metal fell right on top of him. It's left many fans fearing the beloved character will not make it out alive. But that's something we'll have to find out tomorrow, when EastEnders goes live for the final installment of the week. EastEnders Cindy feared dead as she enters the fray in new video. Last night, Reese Colwell tried to escape Albert Square but ended up crashing his car into the pub. This happened as a result of Cindy Beale. She had seen the car approaching and pushed Ian Beale into the middle of the road. Reese swerved and slammed into the building. The vehicle stopped right beside some gas canisters, meaning it wasn't long until they had caught fire, causing the beloved boozer to explode. In tonight's episode, which is 1 hour long, a number of characters outside of the pub attempt to find some sort of order as they work out who is still trapped inside. Ian, who was thrown to the ground in the blast, confirms to Peter that Cindy and Kathy are both in the pub. Trying to lead the situation is Jack Branning, who asks Callum Highway for help with getting people into the cafe or marquee for safety. As Ian and Peter attempt to process the terrifying situation, Peter wonders how on earth things changed in such a short space of time. Someone's got a lot to answer for, Ian says, fully aware it's all Cindy's fault. But if she's inside the pub, will she live to answer those questions everyone will have in the aftermath? Also inside moments before the crash was Stacey Slater, her mum Jean, daughter Lily, ex-husband Martin Fowler and his partner Ruby Allen, with Stacey having just confessed her feelings to Martin shortly before the blast. Unbeknown to many, Sharon Watts was upstairs at the time of the explosion as barmaid Tracy let her up to the living quarters to dry herself off after Kim Fox spilled a drink on her. Kim was still in the boozer along with partner Howie Danes and his son Denzel. Meanwhile, we also know that Sonia Fowler will be giving birth while still trapped in the Vic during Thursday's live episode.
Các bạn vừa theo dõi một sản phẩm của EastEnders Spoiler TV. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại bạn.